We
So
should be live.
saw Guardians on Thursday.
Yeah, that was
Ooh.
why I wanted to go live so quickly. I wanted to ask you, how was Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
It was good.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to see it Wednesday, I think.
The most of the stuff from the trailer is wrapped up in the first 15 minutes.
Awesome.
15,
Thank
20
fuck
minutes.
for that.
So
There's a couple of little tidbits later on, but most of that stuff you've seen is relatively quick in the actual movie itself.
Good.
I knew that I was probably going to like this movie as soon as the first review I saw was on Polygon. I reviewed the first 6 episodes of Iron Fist and didn't like it. And they said it was too samey from the first one, and that wasn't okay. And
That's fucking fine by me.
Yeah, like literally every other review I've been seeing is, yes, it's the same as the first one, but the first one is really good, so that's a good thing.
It dances that fine line between, there's a joke every minute. It's not quite there, but there is.
Airplane.
It's got a lot of the humor that I really like, where I love a reaction to something crazy is just, dude.
Yeah.
They throw down a lot of dudes in this movie, and I like that stuff.
Yeah.
Or just the deadpan sarcastic nature of some of the characters. Or like some are getting burned in and realize it.
Yeah.
Big Dave.
What?
Like Big Dave Batista.
Oh, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
Shockingly.
He's outstanding in this movie.
Like, fucking full credit to the dude. He was not a great wrestler because he couldn't act, basically. But he seems to have picked roles which suit him really, really well.
I don't. You know what? I don't think it's not that he can't act. It's just he didn't fit the character that they were trying to. He's not a heel.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's his biggest problem is, yeah, he's this large imposing guy, but he is really likable.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen him on Twitter or stuff, or like any like random picture you catch him. He's just always goofing off. Like he just seems like a fun guy.
Yeah.
Which makes whenever you see him, like when he was wrestling and stuff, as the villain or the heel all the time, didn't really work. And the only way it worked on Inspector when he was a villain was he didn't talk.
He didn't say a
He's just a
fucking
big
word.
dude.
He just had to be this dude dressed sharply, or just rolling Daniel Craig all over a train. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
But no, I mean, for the most part, it's great. I affectionately love Kurt Russell. Like,
who doesn't?
he's a national treasure.
Yeah.
Like,
he's fucking incredible in 8 as well. The Fate of the
Yes.
Furious.
oh, that's right, he is in that. Yeah, Kurt Russell's the man. Like, it's. I thought you were talking about the Hateful Eight there for a second, which he was great. Probably did one of the best mustache pulls I've ever seen in my entire life. I think I was the only person in the theater that just lost their shit when he did it. It was awesome.
I still need to see that. I want to at least give that a shot.
He's there. He's telling off someone. He just grabs it and goes, boom, real fast. And they're like, it's awesome. What? How's no one else finding this funny?
Yeah.
Like,
What's wrong with you people?
Kurt Russell, you're great.
I feel like that's you and I in most movies, most like black comedies. You and I are just laughing our asses off, and everyone's like, "This movie is really dumb." And I was like, "The picture of the year. This is incredible."
Yeah.
I feel like that happened with you and I once, where we are thoroughly enjoying a movie in the theater, and it is dead silent in the rest of the theater. I can't remember what it was though.
Oh yeah, 'cause we saw a lot of movies at the Dollar Theater.
Mm-hmm.
College. It was I remember one of my favorite times is like, remember when I disappeared for like a week because I was ducking that chick that lived across the hall from me?
As soon as you decided you didn't want to see her anymore, Knobs like redefined ghosting. He was I cannot even tell you how Knobs, you were always in your room or you were always in the floor. Like, you were around pretty consistently. This dude was gone. Like, we were genuinely concerned because it wasn't even like, oh, he came back to sleep. He wasn't really there for that either. He was just gone for a solid 6 or 7 days.
It was like the basic thing was like, yeah, so that's a whole nother level in Ninja because she lived directly across the hall from me.
Yeah, I mean, you open your door and her door is literally lined up straight across the hall.
Yeah, like I went to the movies a lot. I was at baseball practice. I thought working out like late at night. Going swimming, like doing all this stuff, like
you lived a full life.
It was a life lived.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I just bounced. As I remember, I saw. Fuck, what movie was that? It was some weird like off the beaten path movie, and that's when I saw the trailer for Zoo Warriors, and I remember coming back, and that's what actually got me caught because I was so excited. I need to talk to someone about this fucking trailer. I would talk to someone about this trailer, and then the movie never came out
that's right.
Because everyone hated the trailer. I was like, this looks fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of trailers, did you see the Dark Tower trailer?
Yes.
Fucking Idris Elba looks perfect for that role.
I hate those books so much.
I like them.
I don't.
I mean, I read the first 3, and
that's as far as I got, and I tapped out.
Didn't I buy those for you?
You might have bought the. No, I think maybe the first one. I don't. There's been so much stuff we've bought each other over the years.
Yeah.
I can't keep track. Boy, these divorce proceedings are going to be nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read the first one. And I was like, boy, I don't really like this. And I looked online, and people were like, look, if you've read a lot of Stephen King, which I have, you should be picking up all these references. And I was like, dude, no. Should I? So I was like, okay, there's like 10 of them. Let me give 2 and 3 a shot. I'll get like a third of the way through. Suffered through 2 and 3. I'm like, I can't do this. Nothing in these books.
Don't worry, there's only 9 more to go.
I know, and at that prospect, I was like, some people were like, it gets better by book 8, and I was like, I can't, nope, I can't do this.
Like, I'll be the first person to admit, like, I've read a lot of Stephen King. I didn't fucking see any of the references. I didn't get any of the references. I didn't give a shit.
I feel like you have to be a super nerd for Stephen King.
Yeah, you know what? I think I mean that's really more geared towards young, like teenage reading, more than anything else. Because that's when I read it and found things I enjoyed in it.
Yeah, I mean, I read Firestarter. I read most of his books when I was a teenager, but Firestarter was probably one of my favorites, and I think that's like the forgotten Stephen King book.
Along with
what, sir?
The Running Man. I think that's his as well, isn't it?
The Running Man, yeah. It's probably part of a short story collection now or something.
Yeah, it is. But he ghost wrote it. He wrote it on pseudonym.
Yeah, so anyway, so The Guardians, it went places I was hoping it was going to go and pulled them off.
Nice.
Pulled them off. You remember how awesome it was to see Nowhere?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait till you see Ego.
Awesome. That's what I'm really excited for. As a Monster Magnet fan, I'm very excited for Ego, the Living Planet.
Like that's something that like I never thought I'd see on screen.
Yeah. Of anything that would never be something I would guess they would do.
Yeah. Well, never thought they would go that direction. The other characters, the reference to, I don't know if that's a spoiler.
Yeah.
I don't know. The reference to the original Guardians of the Galaxy?
Oh, that's fun.
But the way they did it was really clever. And I enjoyed that. Rocket was a deeper character than just an asshole.
That's surprising. Well, I think in the first one they redeemed him a lot by having him have that moment where he's just like, you know what, they took me to bits and put me back together over and over and over again. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm an asshole. I kind of have justification for being that way.
Yeah.
No, but then he has this kinship with the most lovable character on screen.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
that's they balance each other out as one entity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking, that reminded me of Telltale Guardians of the Galaxy, which reminded me of Tales from Borderlands, which my wife restarted the other day, and I totally forgot that I never remember his name, but Putty voices that character within first 15 minutes, and his line kills me every time where he's like, and that's why every spaceship is shaped like a cock. And I'm just like, amazing.
Oh, Prey's
I
got
need to
some
play
great
that.
lines in it too. I can't wait to talk about that.
And
Yeah,
I forgot
I'm
how
looking-
good that opening song was too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say about Prey.
Yeah, me too.
Although I was listening to the Banffcast and Chuck brought up a really good point, which is like they're hitting the point nowadays where they can release things which for decades have been called unfilmable, like things you just can't put on film. Like American Gods is getting a TV series. Legion is a really successful TV series, from what I'm understanding. You know,
That's a good point. Yeah.
all these things which people said they couldn't be made into movies or TV shows, and they're doing it now. It's like, okay, the floodgates are open. Stop remaking the same shit and get on this.
It's funny because I think studios now are like, oh shit, people like comic books. Like,
Well,
yes,
no, because
they do.
it had such a stigma because they pulled them off so poorly because they didn't have the means to make them successful.
Yep.
I mean, like case in point, look at the Hulk. I mean, the Hulk TV show is bad,
Yeah.
but that's the only way you could do it is to get a bodybuilder to be the Hulk.
Yeah.
Now you can make the Hulk the right size,
Right.
unless you're Ang Lee and you got to make him 90 feet tall.
Oh yeah, the whole concept of as he gets angrier, he gets bigger. Fuck that.
That's legitimately a thing in the comic for a while.
Yeah. But as the
but
first
on
Hulk movie, it's a
screen-
little weird.
That and I
Yeah.
thought that Hulk looked jiggly.
Yeah.
Jiggly.
Did have a bit of jiggles.
Yeah.
It's okay. I know him from work.
What
Might be
sucks
one of my
is
favorite
I think
trailer
Eric
lines.
Bana is a great Bruce Banner.
Mm.
Like I
Oh,
really
yeah,
like
he got fucking shafted.
it. Well, you know what? They did something in rewatching. I was like, the movie's. I'm not gonna say it's horrible, but it's not good. But they did some very interesting things with that. And why the fuck do you make the guy that grows the best mustache of all time the worst mustache trim ever?
Just let it roam.
Oh fuck! I forgot his. Was that Sam? No. God, it's driving me nuts.
We know who you
Sam
mean.
Elliott? Is it Sam Elliott?
No,
What's
that's
the
guy from
title of
Jurassic
the
Park,
Hulk
isn't it?
movie?
The Incredible Hulk.
Incredible Hulk.
The Incredible Hulk film.
God, he was in, man, he was the cowboy and the dude. Oh,
Tim Roth.
No,
That's the one.
no, Tim
That's
Roth.
who he plays.
No, God, it's the same dude. No, it's
William
Thunderbolt. He plays Thunderbolt Ross in the first Hulk movie, and then it's wait, remember I think of John Hurt.
William Hurt is in that one.
William Hurt is that one. All right,
Ty
hold on.
Burrell is in that? Really? The dad from Modern Family?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's Betsy's kind of boyfriend in that one.
Huh.
All right, this is driving me nuts. All right,
We'll answer this question, then we'll start recording.
Yeah. Do Hulk.
Ow.
Oh, God.
I was right, Sam Elliott.
Huh.
Dude grows the best mustache ever, and they give him the worst mustache of all time.
Sam Elliott.
Like it's
yeah,
trimmed
that dude.
above the lip line, and this guy can grow this bushy walrus.
Man, you let Sam Elliott just let that guy's beard do its thing. It's a force of nature.
Just let that dude talk. Like that's all he has to do.
The second sentence of his Wikipedia page is, His lanky physique, thick horseshoe mustache, deep and resonant voice, and western drawl have led to frequent roles as cowboys and ranchers. Thick horseshoe mustache.
Oh, he was so good in the last season 6 of Justified.
That's a show you put that dude in.
Oh, man.
I seriously need to finish that fucking show at some point.
Anyway, Guardians. I really enjoyed Guardians.
Good. I'm glad it was good.
There is 5 credit scenes.
I heard about that.
Jesus!
Yeah. Well, it's 2.5 hours long, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty serious undertaking.
You know what? I shouldn't have drank a liter of water before I went to the theater because, man, did I have to go. And my teeth were floating.
Yeah.
Like it was
you hit that third credit sequence. You're like, dude, come on. I gotta go.
It was really cool. They kind of did it like an old, like you're rolling like old album cover with the edges worn, and there's like Monty Python style like animation, with Groot just sliding down stuff, and them drawing like faces on the yearbook pictures and shit.
Oh, that's cool. Ow.
And I didn't realize the chick that plays Nebula was in Doctor Who.
Yeah,
I did not
Amy
recognize
Pond.
her at all.
Yeah. I got to get back into Doctor Who now that Stephen Moffat is off of it.
Oh, thank fuck for that.
Yeah, for real. My wife and I started watching the Ninth Doctor again, and I forgot how much I love. The reason why I stopped watching Doctor Who is Russell T Davies left, and I loved the episodes that he wrote. Like, he wrote some of the most fun episodes. When he left, it was all Moffat all the time.
I think Moffat had some good episodes. Like, in Modicum, Moffat was okay. It was when he became the showrunner that it really jumped the shark, and it was just like, enough, Moffat, go away.
When too many people... We were just talking about my dislike for Elon Musk and cult of personality. When you start praising somebody for writing a one-off episode like Blink, which is really good, like you said, in moderation, that dude makes that show like that, and that's not what Doctor Who should be. Doctor Who needs to be fun.
Yeah.
And I still don't like Matt Smith.
You still don't like who?
Matt Smith.
Matt Smith.
I don't think he's a good doctor.
He is not a good doctor. He's not.
Yeah.
Is this the most recent one, the older guy?
No, that's the big forehead. The big guy with the big face. No,
the big face guy?
10, 11?
11.
Yeah. I mean, obviously you're not going to beat David Tennant.
No. Tennant, I mean, the best thing for me about Tennant is I went in hating that guy because I was a huge fan of the actor I can never remember the name of.
The guy from Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah, the guy that played Destro.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yes, also...
That dude's great. He's in a really good show called The A World about autism. It's really good.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. Like, I loved him. And Tennant could not have had a steeper hill to climb from me, and oh boy did he climb it.
Yeah. Fuck, man. I really wish he would have stayed on longer. I get why he didn't want to, but I really
on the show for a while.
He was on for like 3-4 seasons.
That's a long for a doctor.
Yeah, Matt Smith is around for 4. The old dude is, I think this is his last one, so he'll have 2? 3?
3.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, literally all I have to do is think about David Tennant's last episode where he goes and wraps up his goodbyes with everybody, and immediately my eyes are just like...
God, I wanted to hate you so much. God, Boomer!
Now I love you. Alright, once Boomer calms down, let's start recording.
Please, get down.
Since I got a lot of shit to say this week.
Get down.
Oh, me too.
Well, I am glad I had a full week to recover from... Ow!
Oh, yes. I cannot wait for this. I'll leave it.
I mean, I was explaining it. I was in a party Saturday night with someone, and like I had that. No, it was before we started playing Battlefield. When I was in the other party first.
Oh, okay.
With a friend of a friend.
I know what you're talking about. Okay.
And man, I had these dudes on the floor because I was losing my fucking mind, and it's gonna be hard not to swear because
or spoil, because I'm very close to starting that.
Yes.
Starting that this week.
The thing is, I think what Nobs wants to talk about, I think, is something you will know about just through your presence in the RPG community.
Yes.
Oh, it's like a mechanics thing?
No.
Yes.
Oh.
I don't think it's a mechanics thing.
It's a mechanic. I think it is.
No.
Well, we'll talk about it. We'll save it.
No.
Yeah.
God damn it, I'm getting mad right now.
Well, let's get started then, because let's not lose our steam here. Excuse me. All right, Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Going around the room, we have Knobs.
Hi.
And Moonpeer.
Hello.
Knobs is angry about stuff. So, Knobs, let's talk about your stuff.
Hold on, I gotta turn my antivirus off.
But Knobs, you let the viruses in. They're gonna get your files.
You know, it frustrates me, this thing popping up all the time.
You know what the secret is?
Hold for 4 hours.
Don't run an antivirus.
You know what? I did that once, and then,
You got a virus.
And then it shut everything down.
Well,
hold on, home button. There we go, 498.
Let's pull up the notes here on my Microsoft Surface tab. I want to make fun of the Surface, but it's actually really good, so I won't.
Yeah, it's really great, and this little thing's fun to play with.
Yeah,
pen,
little stylus.
I like it.
Yes, for audio listeners, it was a stylus. It was not something else.
Oh, well,
you
know,
boy.
way to go! Why don't you put that on a T-shirt? All right, so Monday Night Game Night. Apparently, I cannot talk people into playing Battlefield 4 at all.
Nope.
Oh no.
Nope.
What's?
I don't know. I have this itch to play this game, and it needs to be scratched.
But you have to play it. You have to scratch it with friends.
I need a squad.
Right.
I need a squad. But no, apparently no one wants to play that game anymore.
No,
nope. We only did it for years, and then we're back. And then we're back playing Left 4 Dead 2, which is.
That's the funny part. Is like you think, oh well, they've forsaken you for another dirty, unnamed game. Hey, want to play Left 4 Dead 2? Oh yeah, totally.
Yep. It's also, to be fair, like I think 2 people don't have it installed anymore.
Well, I mean,
hey, they have a whole 24 hours.
Yeah.
And I've been talking about it for 2 weeks.
Just pop it back in.
Scott's excuse was, hey, it's in the garage.
Okay.
What?
I can feel you. Find it tomorrow.
Or not at all.
Yeah, well, yeah, clearly.
Or not at all. I don't know why, I just kind of have, maybe I just need this compare and contrast to Battlefield 1 on just mechanics and how the leveling system works, which I'll talk about in a minute. So we're going to play in Left 4 Dead 2 on Monday Night Game Night. I think it was, 3v3?
No, Monday night was a 4-pack fun pack.
2v2.
Yes.
Yeah, we played, what was it, Blood Harvest?
Yes.
Yeah. Didn't go so well for you, did it?
No, it didn't. But that's fine. You win some, you lose some. I won the last 2 weeks, so that's fine by me.
I won the week before. It's all square.
Sipping a nice coffee.
I already keep score with Boston. I'm not going to do it with you as well.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
I won't rub my score in your face, Moon.
I did find a new death spot for a charger on Blood Harvest in the first area. Because I wasn't entirely sure that you could do that, because I could have sworn there was a fence to catch you there. But nope, I pulled, I think, Scott and I think one of the NPCs off the, the part where there's that big rope bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Go across the chasm in the first one, you're going through the Allegheny Mountains. Yeah, apparently that gap is chargeable.
Nice.
So
yeah, it wasn't Scott.
Oh, I took you off?
Yes.
Even better.
Sweet revenge.
I did it to Scott like 2 times last week, so I can't complain.
Well, yeah, that last charge top of No Mercy where it knocked me all the way down to there, and I get enough time to get picked up, take one step, and boom, get batted like a baby seal off the roof. It was a rough night, but this was a pretty decisive win. I think we kept inching ahead of you, even though I thought we had you way earlier on a couple of those levels, and we managed to fight through them.
Yeah, there was you guys had a big lead for a fair bit, and then I think it was like chapter 4. We stonewalled you real early, and then me and Scott just basically booked it to the end of the level, and it went from like a 200-point gap to like a 15-point gap. It's like, oh, maybe, no.
And then we bricked you pretty much on that was the third one. Then the fourth one is the one we caught you before you even got to the barn.
Yep.
Because I know I made it to the house where you had to crawl through it to get to the railroad tracks, where I kind of got backed into a corner, and then you came over and spit on me. It's Spitter, man. Has been the bane of my existence lately. Oh, it's one like good time. Come out and play Left 4 Dead 2.
Yep.
Still gonna try Battlefield 4. Whatever. It's installed.
Don't give
updated.
up, Knobs.
I'm ready to go.
Yep. Anyone listening that wants to play with Knobs will play it with you. You have a week to install it.
Yeah.
Well, or a day.
Sure.
You have till this evening when
Either
this comes out.
It's cheap. You don't have to have the DLC. It's probably like $5. Buy it used.
Yeah.
Pop it on in.
As a quick point as well, like for those who are listening thinking, no, they're never going to play with me. Yes, we will.
100%.
It's the reason that I'm on the show now is because me and Nobs have been playing games together since like 2007.
Yeah.
Like when I was first became a fan of the show.
If you want to be on TVGP in 2027, Knob 33 on Xbox One.
I am the root to all things.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we're talking about that. Battlefield 1. I think we played that Friday and Saturday night.
Nice.
You guys played it Saturday, yeah. I played it Friday with you guys, yeah.
Yeah. That game's still pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
When a giant Zeppelin explodes and lands on your head, it can be quite concerning.
That's something. We did figure out one thing that might help most people with the zooming in and out of the map. If you turn motion blur all the way off, guess what? It's not nearly as awful.
Oh, nice.
It is a marked improvement when you turn motion blur off. And I think that might help Donnie. Because I think that blurring is just kind of what gets
was that
little
what was
motion
making
sick.
him nauseous? Was like zooming in on the map?
Yeah.
Right. It
blurriness?
was. Yeah, because granted, it's a really cool effect. When you die and you go to respawn and it pulls you all the way up above the battlefield, and you could kind of see everything that's going on. Like you can see all the vehicles moving. You really can't see the guys because they're just
ants.
A little
blue dots.
Too small. Why are you calling me on a Sunday?
No, I was receiving a phone call.
I'm really surprised the volume was down. Hear a little bass cannon. But no, like that's the hardest thing is trying to figure out how the progression works with unlocking the better weapons. Whereas in Battlefield 4 and all subsequent Battlefield games, you had to use that gun to a certain point, and then it unlocked the next gun. Right. Makes sense. That system works great.
When you had to use everything, so you sort of had to figure out where your sweet spot was.
Exactly. And you're like, oh, maybe the next gun's better. Wait, no, this one's worse. And then you'll go back and you do the next gun. You're like, okay, cool. And you keep working your way up through all the weapons, which is a great way to let the arsenal fly. Lately, I've just been picking up random weapons in the game, like on the battlefield now. Yeah. Just trying stuff out.
What's this thing? Oh, handgun crap.
Yeah. So essentially, the way this works is you have to level up your class, the whatever class you're playing as. So you like level 1, 2, and 3, and then there's one for 10, which is probably the best weapon or whatever. Right. And it unlocks those. But then during the course of unlocking those, once you've unlocked it, can't use it yet because you got to use your war bonds to buy it.
Oh, rough.
That sucks. And
yeah,
you're
having
not
two
earning-
layers there is sort of frustrating.
and you're not earning war bonds outside of a level up enough that you can buy all the guns that you unlock in one shot.
Oh.
That's where it's a little frustrating.
Can you buy war bonds with real money?
Probably.
I don't think you can. You can definitely buy battle packs with more money.
Oh,
with
okay,
real
so
money,
they
I
still
should
have
say.
battle packs in there. Okay.
But the
Yeah.
battle packs are just skins.
Yeah.
They're not actual weapons.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Okay. I was figuring, not I wasn't, ready to flay Battlefield 1, but I was wondering if that was them gently pushing you, saying, like, either you need to play a lot more and we'll give you a lot more war bonds, or maybe drop $10-15 and we'll give you enough war bonds to kind of pick up whatever you want.
Well, I mean, they have those advancement packs, and I haven't bought any, so I don't really know how they work.
Okay.
It seemed like a level skip was the way it worked on the Battlefield 4, where you just bought that and you got all the stuff for this, or you bought the one that got one for all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it just kind of seems a little unnecessary to, if I went to the time to unlock this gun, I should be able to use it.
Yeah. That's... I'm a little frustrated hearing that, where it's like, I got this new gun. No, I didn't. Okay.
But here, all right. So here's the double-edged sword: is I don't think the level or the amount of guns is that deep in World War One. Like,
No, it's not.
Oh, yeah.
like a
Each
few of them are
class-
doubles up. Like,
Yeah.
like they double up. Like, this is the optic version of this particular weapon. This is
Oh.
this version of this weapon here.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like, you don't realize how useful all the little markings on a sniper rifle scope are until they're not there.
Yeah.
Until they're not there, and it's just a guess on how much bullet fall you have to play with on the sniper rifle.
Right.
Sniping in that game, still hands down, probably some of the most satisfying shots you'll make in that game.
Yeah.
When you get that one headshot and you just rack that shell out, and you're like, yeah,
Done and done.
I do think the lens glint is a little too apparent, because as soon as I
Yeah.
see that in the distance, I'm like, oh, you're so dead.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's no hiding.
It's like someone shining a laser directly into your face. It's that obvious. Like, it's not like a little hint. It's just a constantly there.
Yeah,
Someone is
and-
shining a flashlight
did it-
over there.
They did it like how the comic book Star is, where it's like
Right.
it's got the flare on it for directions, and it's really apparent. Which I guess would even the playing field for sniping, but you really got to get into a really good hidden spot that's way out of the way. So you really have to take your time with a lot of these shots. And the way people move in that game is no one runs in a straight line.
Yeah.
And it is, you got to catch the person posting up, which is why the sniper battles are always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Because you find this group posting up. Like, I picked off 5 guys on this one ridge because they all just kind of staggered themselves. I was like, oh, it was like Hogan's Alley. It was awesome. But that game's good. The game's really good. It looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
Even we were playing last night. Again, we played a few of the other maps, like a couple of ones that are in like the white-ish looking mountains on that one side, where it's got the little bunkers along the side of it, and sea is like under the mountain, and it's.
Sorry, the since I haven't seen that map, the mental image that came to mind was the end of Inception, with that snowy fortress. Where I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. I mean, World War One, why not?
Yeah,
Inception.
it's like that, except it's a little greener.
Yeah.
But no, like, just the random stuff, like the amount of dead stuff that falls out of the sky in that game is just bananas. Like, you'll just be running around, there's a body, then all of a sudden here comes a tank, just comes tumbling down the hill, and then all of a sudden there's a horse that just kind of looked like it got flung by the French. Like,
horses.
Like, that happened twice during that map. All of a sudden, a horse just comes flying out of the sky. And we're like, what is happening? The big Zeppelin comes
Forecasters'
crashing
horses.
down in the middle of the map. There's a lot of really good dynamic stuff in that game.
Well, it's nice to hear there's still the Battlefield chaos, where it's just
Yes.
like someone hopped in, like in Battlefield 3 and 4, or back all the way, somebody hopped into a jet and it went up and it went straight back down and landed on their own team.
There was one spot where Tom's like, "Oh, this ridge is really good. These guys are coming right in." So then Scott and I go up there, and we're like, "Hey, that looks like a helicopter coming our way. Were there helicopters in World War One?" He's like, "Yeah, I was thinking the same thing." Then by the time it got close enough, it was just a biplane. We're like, oh, it's just the way it looked in the horizon behind the light. I'm like, it's a helicopter, right?
Like, the dude flying this biplane is like, why are they just standing there? I'm coming to shoot them. Like, why? And it's like a Seinfeld episode. Were there helicopters? I don't know. Why don't we pull up Wikipedia?
I don't know. It's the second button. I mean, it just makes sure. Oh, all right. You know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna go on my list. Nier Auto can go F itself.
So, before we start, Knobs is at probably the back half of the game, so there might be accidental spoilers here. I'm hoping not, since I haven't started it, but go ahead.
So, after the show, like I had finished Ending C, or before the show I finished Ending C. Jumped back into it, and then it put me at the start of Nier again. I was like, wait, this isn't right. So I went to the forums, added Outlook. I was like, okay, because then you, like, after you hit C, you have level select. So
you thought you ran into a Trigun situation where it's like, wait, what happened?
I really thought I did, because it was really easy. It was just successional.
Yeah.
So I load up the ending chapter, replay it, choose 9S instead of A2. I do the ending for that. I'm like, okay, cool. Goes to credits. Then it goes to credits that you fight for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to set this. It essentially, like, that's a bullet hell shooter at that point, where you're just fighting your way through it. And at some point, it gets to the point where it is unplayable. And I'm like, how long do I have to do this? So I died, and I was like, okay. Then I turn it off, and I'm like, all right, let me reload this and do this again. So I got to play through that ending again to get to the same point. Actually, no, I made the wrong choices, and it ended the game. I'm like, because, of course, there's text and there's choices in this. Whatever. So doing this again, get in there, and then I get to the point where I keep dying, and like, hey, is this worthless? No, I don't know. I don't think so. So, okay, keep playing, die. I'm like, hey, would you like some help? Nah, I got it. So I keep going, I keep hitting the same brick wall. I keep getting a little further, and I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna get some help. So then it gives you your little ship, and then it gives you like a circle of ships. And it gives these gamer tags. It comes like, hey, so-and-so is coming to help you. Like, awesome. This person died. Oh, that sucks. Oh, this person dies. Oh, that sucks. You get through it. There's another ending at that point. Not saying what it is or whatever.
Thank you.
But after that...
Was that ending D, or that you just completed?
I think it was ending E.
Okay.
You get D before that, and then to get ending E, you get this other... The pods are talking.
Okay.
The pods are talking back and forth, and they're contemplating stuff.
Sure.
You get to this point, and then you finish that, and they're like, hey, and there's another cinematic, and after that, you're like, it tricked me.
Okay.
The game tricked me.
Okay.
So I was figuring, it presents a question to you. All right, and I'm not spoiling what the question is.
Oh no, if this neared you, I'm going to laugh so hard.
Boston, it did.
Oh no.
It did. It did. It 100% did.
Oh, I know exactly what it did. Oh no.
So it presented a question to me.
Oh no.
Would you like to help anyone else playing the game? Okay, I had to use help, so in my mind, I'm like, all right, I'm going to get some reward for this, whatever.
Oh, I bet you did.
Oh, yeah. It was... meanwhile, it's like midnight at this point, like Sunday night. Like, I'm tired.
You're just ready to be done.
I'm just ready to be done with this. Like, okay, cool. Yes. And you're like, well, okay. So you do this, you're going to blah, 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 blah yourself. Like, well, yeah, that's what I got to do to help. So sure. And are you sure? Are you really, really sure? Like, come on. all right, I just want this over, yes. And they're like, okay, I'm sure someone's really going to appreciate this. Here you go. Goes to my inventory. Wipes. Goes to my weapons. Wipes. Goes to... It does it in the worst way. Everything you get in this game, it deletes. And then it gets to your save files. 1, 2, 3, gone. Thanks for playing.
Yes! Yes! Oh, I'm so glad they did it again. Oh, man.
Yep, they did.
Oh, what a punch in the junk. I love it.
For the record,
So mad. I was losing my mind.
I was in a party with, I can't remember, we were in a party when this happened to Nobs, and like he jumped in the party and was like, I literally just did a 180 on Nier. Like a 180. He was
amazing.
Like, if you think you've seen him angry here, he can get angry here.
Oh, I know the level of rage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
what
like
the thing that makes me love Nier Automata more is that it does that again for the second time. That's how the first Nier ended. I can't wait. I gotta play this game this week.
I did not see it coming.
No.
At all. Because I was figuring, because at every point when you do something sacrificial in that game, you get rewarded for it.
Right, you get another ending.
It builds you up through all these playthroughs of doing the right thing.
Right.
And then it just hits you in the taint.
Yep.
Like just
so good.
Like I had planned to sit down and just level everything up and do all the stuff, and now, nope.
Yep.
I'm not doing any of it. I'm never playing that game again.
Well, you can't. You're done with Nier Automata.
Yep. Done. And here's the kicker. I don't even know if I got the right ending for E. I don't even know.
That's the thing I like about Nier and Nier Automata. When you're done experiencing that game, it makes sure you don't go back. You've seen that game. That you got all the endings. You're done.
Oh man. Oh man.
Yeah. And for the record, like I know Boston's aware of how angry Nobs can get. For the listeners, if you think this is bad, he was going off in this party.
Oh, yeah, it was before Monday night game night, and I launched into a tirade for 20 minutes.
Man, I know I'm going to love this game.
I had another venting session, I think it was Friday, it was Saturday, no, it was Friday night, where I was, like, I had a whole group of dudes that I normally don't talk to just rolling on the floor.
Yeah.
Because I was just,
I'm so excited to play this game.
Yep.
I love it.
Game went from my favorite game to this year to not even really on my top 10 now. I'm that bad.
It's probably gonna be my number one game of the year then, if it did that again.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get to a game I'm really enjoying right now. I can't wait for this one to delete everything for me.
Mm-hmm.
I started Prey.
Oh yeah.
I started Prey yesterday, and played a bunch more today.
I'm so excited to hear about this.
All right, so the game's really good. Just right from the outset, it does a lot of stuff really well. Right now, my best comparison is, or best way to describe it's Dead Space / BioShock with all you need is kill.
I've heard it has a little bit of Metroidvania with like blocked off doors and pathways and stuff. Well,
kind of ish. Okay. I have trouble calling a first person shooter that.
Well, I'm seeing some stuff on Twitter, so I'm not sure like which stuff is true and which isn't.
Well, and what I mean by all you need is kill, and that's if anyone has saw On the Edge of Tomorrow. Essentially, that's the enemy.
Right.
Yep.
They look really cool, and they were really hard to fight. You really got to pay attention to what you have on your body or what you have in your arsenal to attack or to play offensively in that game. This game has had probably some of the best Easter eggs I've seen in games in a long time. I've been sharing them with Boston through text message.
Yep.
I forgot. What was his name again? Captain...
something beef sword? Like beef kill?
Oh, jeez, hold on.
He sent it to me in a text the other day. So he pulled up a character sheet from... Was that something you found on like a terminal?
It was on a desk.
Oh, it's just hanging out on
the desk. It was sitting on the desk in the security area for the shipping, or for where everyone was doing their escape pod. So apparently this guy is there filling out D&D papers.
Yeah, just playing D&D for Captain Stabfellow.
Stabfellow.
And then you sent me something from a screen from Mr. Gluey McGlueface.
So I wish I'd have taken a picture of it before I destroyed it, because essentially it was a snowman made out of the glue gun. Mm-hmm. So the guy just kind of making this glue guy and put a couple baseball mitts, a big banana sticking out of his nose, and a couple other things sticking out of his body because he had loot in him. So I had to destroy it.
Naturally.
That stuff was great. Gluey McGlueface was. So I'm just sitting there chuckling. Yeah, all these Easter egg stuff really cool. The game's a really competent shooter. You don't have your pretty much basic weaponry outside of a shotgun and a pistol. I have not found an assault rifle anywhere on the space station. Which, why would that have that there? Why would you have projectile-based weapons on a space station?
Is the rest of it mostly just your powers, like Bioshock style? Like, is that where the Bioshock stuff comes in?
It has you. You actually have a choice. Once you get to the point where you get your monocle or whatever, the ocular distortion field, which is really cool. So it's like a scanner.
Ooh.
So it's got all this stuff like locking on and scanning the enemies and stuff.
Is that where the logo comes from?
Yes.
Cool.
That is literally like you have like it vignettes yourself into this circle, and then as you're fighting enemies, like it's scanning them, and then you use your scanning points to purchase the typhoid powers, because they're called typhoids, but they always refer to them as mimics, which is one of my favorite lines in this game so far. I'm going to say it next, but so you have all these things, but you have a choice. You're talking with your Atlas style character called January. He's like, look, you can do that, but just to warn you, the turrets and all the automated systems are going to see you as an alien, so maybe you don't want to go full on mimic.
Right.
And I was like, that makes sense.
Duly noted.
Okay. The other mechanic I'm really enjoying in this game, outside of I don't really like the limited inventory thing, because it does the Deus Ex style inventory, where you have a grid and you only hold so much stuff.
You're Tetrising the stuff around.
But man, this game has a great recycling system.
Really?
It is the coolest thing in the world. So you are picking up everything like a magpie. You are just catamaring the F out of everything that you find.
It's like what you want to do in like Skyrim and Fallout, but it punishes you.
Right. Yeah. You scoop up all the stuff to your inventory is for. You find a recycling station. You hold X and it puts all the junk that you picked up into the recycling bin. You push the recycling button and you watch it just dematerialize. And at the other side, it vomits out these little like cubes and globes and balls of raw elements that you can take to the fabricator to make stuff.
Oh, cool.
That's really cool.
It is awesome.
Man.
So you're like, I've probably spent more time like, wait, where's the recycler?
Right.
So that I'm going running around trying to find the recycler to clear up my inventory to pick up more stuff. But I'm picking up the same weapons and stuff, so I'm just trashing all that so I can trash that stuff so I can make ammo for everything, so I'm not dying.
It's like going to a Coinstar thing with a jar full of quarters, and it's like, I just got $120. This is incredible.
Yeah, it's $120 that I paid $20 to get.
Yeah,
like,
well, details.
But yeah, so if I just taken the time and rolled it myself, I'd be $20 richer.
Snore.
Yeah. Hey, I still roll my own change. I like it.
I don't have change anymore.
I do. Just a little ping.
I don't leave the house. I don't have any change.
I do. I like cash. It's fun. But anyway, yeah, so that system is really cool. And then I finally figured out that I had to use the So you get these little upgrade gun things, and they are all in your eye socket.
Oh, boy.
Okay, nope. I'm out.
You only see it happen once,
Okay.
but every time you
Okay.
use that, you know you're shooting up your eye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not in your eye, like just left of your eye. So inside edge.
Right.
Those two things. Then
Little-
you see a skull that like everyone has like their skull socket's got the little things
Poking
in
the
them.
tear duct.
Yeah. Man, that's a good opening to that game. It was really good. I can't think of another game that did that that you're reliving the same day over and over again as good as this.
Oh yeah, like they that was the first trailer they showed, if I remember correctly.
You're in a simulation to open that game up.
Cool. I just added this to my queue.
Probably not. But no, it's
Put this at
really
the top of my
good.
queue.
And then as you're digging into this game even more, it just keeps opening up more and more of what you have to do. And then the inevitable choice is always in front of you. The Zero G stuff, really good. The space station is great. I would say it's really good world building, but it's just a space station so far.
Yeah.
Because I had no idea this took place in space until I saw space.
Right. Until it was like the year 2308 or whatever. It's like, oh, space.
Yeah.
Right. Gotcha.
Well, actually, it's only it's 2032. I think it's all it is.
Yeah.
But there's a really cool history lesson that they have about like it goes from like 1980 or no 1960, 1964, 1980, 2009, and all this other stuff about the advancement of the Talos station that you're on. But it has a really great feel to it. The enemies are pretty varied and a lot of fun to kill. The glue gun is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It really
I've
is.
heard about that.
It is.
You could also put out fires with it, apparently.
Oh yeah, if you get in a spot and you're spraying bullets everywhere, next thing you know the whole room's on fire. You just kind of go bink, put it out, bink, put it out, like because it's shooting out of the pipes. Same thing works with atmospheric thing. If you're outside floating around the space station, you can seal up rooms that you can get into later.
Oh, cool.
So
And
there's
this game
all
sounds
this
cool.
There's all this other stuff. The hacking game kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't really figure out how to. It's way too sensitive, like the motion of it. So it's one of the ones where you have your cursor and you go move over, hit a button, move to the next one, hit a button, move to the next one, hit a button. But maneuvering it is really squirrely. So that's kind of whatever. But so far, the best line of this game is, "Don't trust anything until you hit it with a wrench." Wait. It says that it takes a break, and she says, "Starting with the wrench."
Great. This game sounds really good.
They just dropped that one on me, like literally right before I came up to start recording, and I'm like, you know what? This is good.
That's a keeper.
This game's a keeper. Not to mention, so you have these other things called operators that are floating around the world. One is a science operator, one's a medic operator, and the other one's a mechanic operator. And so you have your three abilities, or not your three life bars. You have your health, obviously that's the medic one. And it's like, oh wow, it looks like you've had a rough day. Here, I'll heal you right up. And the little line comes like, oh man, you're really irradiated. Maybe we should take care of that. Like, yeah. Then you got like the ones that fix your armor, and then the other psionic ones. He's like, yes, now you're functioning at peak ability. I'm like, okay, cool. I really don't use this stuff unless I accidentally hit left trigger to aim down sights that aren't there. So
yeah,
thanks. But yeah, that game's really cool, and I really might play through it a second time to see what the mimic augments are, because I'm going full human on this one.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's an alleged evil operator that you're talking to. Instead of January, it's December. So,
oh wow,
the game just looks really. I mean, it's a fully realized space station. Like
Yeah.
it is really cool to navigate and run around this world. I just got into the gravity core, which essentially it's just a spinning dynamo that looks like the magnets. Like it looks like a Tesla coil.
Oh
sitting
yeah.
there spinning really fast. And like, yeah, man, I'm gonna have to get in there, aren't I? Shoots all this plasma up, and then it goes by and it shocks and knocks all the power down for a second, and then you swoop in, grab the body, get out, and then loot them.
I need to play this.
It's
Yeah.
I really had no expectation for this game at all.
Yeah.
Other than it had a steel book, and that's the only reason why I bought it. And
Well, even when they showed the original trailer, it's sort of like, okay, they're rebooting Prey, but it's been so long and that previous game is so weird. I genuinely don't know what to expect out of this, so I'm just gonna sort of ride it out, and hopefully it turns out all right. And so far, all the reviews and everything you're saying sounds really good.
it's shocking at this point. Like, I'm waiting at some point where this is going to take a turn for the disastrous.
Yeah.
But everything at this point has just been like it's like experiencing BioShock. It's been that good.
Yeah.
There's all these little tidbits around the world. There's all these terminals to get into, all these dialogue and papers to read, and like a lot of stuff. Like, the whiteboard work in this game is outstanding.
Yeah.
Like, a couple of the safes are going on. Like, this one dude just had this, like, in case you forget, and it had 2 elements on it. So then you go to the element board to get the code to open a safe. Like, that's genius.
That's cool.
So, yeah, that game does a lot of things right, and I'm really liking it. I really, like, honestly, like, the thing I'm enjoying the most is the inventory management of running back to that recycler, because these little balls and cubes and stuff, they're so cool looking.
Yeah.
And there's a grenade that's it's like a recycler bomb. So you throw this thing into the room, and it pulls everything in the middle and recycles it, like right there, and just like confetti.
The future.
It's like Christmas.
It is.
It's awesome. But yeah, all the other stuff's really cool. The enemies and the turrets are fun to play with. Man, just I cannot find anything wrong with it at this point.
That's exciting. And it's great that it's a surprise too. Like, it's a genuine treat where it's like, I knew nothing about this game and I started it and it's really good.
Yes, and that's been great. And to its credit, it is really it really captures the essence of Dead Space 1, why I think Dead Space 1 is perfect is it captures that isolation and you have no escape.
Yeah, and it's just you.
Right.
Yeah.
So far, I don't know. A couple
exciting.
of guys I've come across have been mind controlled by mimic stuff, so that's been weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, the enemies are it's nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
Like the way they flip and flop around, and then the ones that are like the beings, the bipedal ones are just like, whoa.
Oof,
that electricity one I came across was really terrifying.
Oh, that's so exciting.
But that's what I've been playing this week, so save your save files.
Yep. Moonpier, what do you have?
Let's start with the show starter. There we go. Made that reference again. Binding of Isaac. Check out Wednesday. Binding of Moonpier Boston Reborn. We talk about a rough week. We'll say that.
Yeah, rough. Not a great week for either of us.
Yeah, little teaser there for the show. Shout out for Balkirk and Tomsey. We continue our trek through The Division. The what's it called? The dollar plague infested streets of New York.
Yes. I thought that was a joke when I originally heard how the infestation spread, but it makes sense.
It does. I mean, from a logical standpoint, if you're going to do something like that, it's a very smart way to do things.
Put it on the money. Everyone's got the money.
Yeah, exactly. Show me the non-infested money, please.
That's DLC.
I played...
Yeah, they're called bullets.
What is this, Metro?
Guns are my currency.
I played, other than that, I played a little bit of Rocket League. Rocket League is incredible.
Still really good.
I don't know how they've managed to make such a simple game so fantastic. A couple of weeks ago, I think it was, they released the Dropshot DLC, which it's kind of difficult to explain. Like the basic concept of Rocket League is it's soccer with cars that can fly. Drop Shot is the original Tron movies game grid.
Ooh.
Where you have to, well, you know, in the original Tron where they destroy the floors and then the people fall through it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that, except in order to score a goal, you destroy the floor and then hit the ball through the floor.
Oh, cool.
The cars can still drive across it as if it was still there, but the ball sinks through it. So like you've got to hit the floor to damage it, then hit it again to open it up.
The ball's not a true believer.
No, it's not. I believe in the users. But yeah, it like the ball gets charged the more you hit it. So you end up with like this ping pong type situation where you've got the red team and the blue team each trying to defend their half, and the ball gets more and more electrified as you're playing. Like as it hasn't hit the floor, it gets more electrified, like depending on how fast it's going and stuff like that. So all of a sudden, someone will make a mistake, it'll miss it, it will hit the floor, and then all of a sudden it's just like boom, huge noise, and the floor has gone from dark to lit up, and you know it's like one more hit and that floor is done. And then it just becomes this madness of stop the ball from going near the lit up parts, and everybody's flying around like crazy because it consistently recycles your boost. Like you constantly get more boost.
So basically, they turned Rocket League into Lethal League.
I don't know. I've never played Lethal League.
Oh, Lethal League is crazy. It's basically like a 1v1 side-scrolling baseball game where the more you hit the ball, the faster it goes. So basically, soon it's going like 400 miles an hour, and just you have no margin of error for trying to hit it at the other person.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It becomes really interesting when you get like teams who work together really well. Like they'll punt the ball up like an inch off the ground and then spike it into the floor. And when you get against people like that, you know you are going to lose really, really badly.
Yeah.
I made a mistake this week. In my needing to play a simple game, I loaded the opposite of a simple game in Powerstar Golf.
Oh. Yeah, but it's a good game.
It's a very good game. It is really, really good if you don't like set your aim too high. But if you're aiming for the golds, if you're trying to beat your friends list, because it has the integration on the friends list on that game is incredible because
it's devious.
As soon as you load it up, you're like, son of a.
He beat.
Yep. 18 people have tried to beat your score and failed. Cool. This person has beaten your score. My life is ruined. I will destroy you.
I'm gonna get him. That's my afternoon now.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, add me to your friends list. Come and try and beat my scores. Come and try and beat Nobs' scores. Bring it on, punks. You know, tweet it at us. Take those screenshots. Show us your best. If it'll get Nobs back into it and get him more frustrated again, that would be great.
The world's #1 Powerstar Golf players just sent you an invite. I'll show you.
Don't say that. Don't say that. We talked last week, I can't remember if it was post-show or at the end of the show, but we were talking about how I basically have 15 games constantly cycling, and I beat one and then another one gets added to the list.
You're lazy Susan.
I played Yes, it's my lazy Susan of video games. I went back to Resident Evil 7 to continue my Madhouse playthrough.
Is that the difficulty?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the difficulty.
I wasn't sure if that was just like something you're doing or if that's a mode. I know there's some. I don't know if they have tofu back, but Resident Evil has some.
Yeah, it's got some weird stuff going on in there. Madhouse is the default games. The standard games hardest difficulty is Madhouse. They have added another difficulty in there now, which is even harder. I don't know if I'll be playing that.
Madhouse.
Bladderhouse? Did you just say
Bladderhouse? I think we call it the Whiz Palace.
Yes. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, if it's actually called Madhouse. Like, it's the type of game that would embrace that kind of thing.
It's like the bad Genesis sequel to Splatterhouse that never came out.
Oh, wow. But, yeah, Resident Evil 7 is still incredible. It still looks amazing. It's still terrifying, especially when you're on the higher difficulty and they literally change so much about the game. The bosses are still in the same location, but items have moved. The enemies move so much faster. Like, you play it on normal difficulty and you can get maybe one or two easy, like, timed shots off at somebody before they get close to you. On Madhouse, you're lucky if you can get your gun up by the time they've approached you.
Jeez.
Like, it changes so much about how that game is, and it terrified me the first time I played it. It was genuinely a scary game for me. I really cannot recommend Resident Evil 7 enough. Like, easy, that's probably going to be on my list at the end of this year.
Yeah.
Because it's way too good, and it does my favorite thing in games, which is, hey, you beat it, here's a bunch of rewards.
Yeah.
You know, I'm playing it on the hardest difficulty. I have one of the most powerful guns in the game. It's still a little bit, you know, tempting and difficult at times to actually make it through certain areas, just because I know I'm going to get worked over. I'm going to get taken to the woodshed, so to speak.
Well, they didn't give you Dead Space's finger, so, you know, there's still some challenge.
Yeah, they didn't get a foam finger.
Yeah.
They give me the equivalent, which is the Albert gun.
Albert
references.
gun.
It's called the Albert 01R. It's stupid, but it's so powerful. I wouldn't even bother writing this down, to be honest, Boston. I went back and I'm starting to do some cleanup on Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I forgot how much I love that game.
It's mostly good.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, I still haven't gone back and finished that.
I would. Yes. It's not that long. I'd recommend it just to. There's that last area that's really fun. You're sort of climbing up this giant thing, and it's falling apart around you, and it's that was pretty good. Yeah,
that moment is so good. Like that mission is fantastic. When you're literally, where do I go? Everything's falling around me. Like I love that moment in the game. But even just like. I mean, let's face it, the reason I'm going back and playing it is because I'm doing collectibles.
Ugh.
Because there is collectibles.
Heaven help you.
Yes. But it's good because I'm enjoying it. I'm running around, I'm doing like wall runs and you know, cool, stylish. I don't have an objective.
Yeah.
I'm just doing cool things to get from A to B, and it's awesome.
Collecting all the sparkly data bits.
Oh, I got them ages ago.
Yeah.
My final game this week, and I honestly I don't know. It's Dovetail Games Euro Fishing.
The what now? Dovetail Games Euro Fishing?
Yes, that is the full title of this game.
Okay, Dovetail Games.
I love giving Boston more writing work. It's so much fun.
Keeper size.
It's keeper size.
I missed that then.
You never played what was it, Sega
Bass Fishing?
One of the best optional required controllers in gaming. Just
yes. I have never ever once played Sega Bass Fishing.
I bet it's still
next
fun.
time you come over, I'll get it. I'll pull it out.
Yeah, I bet it's still fun.
I've got it on my. It's on my Xbox One, waiting to be installed.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the controller.
Yeah,
no, it does not.
The fishing controller is probably 75% of the enjoyment of that game. Otherwise, it's fine, but just being able to like flick that controller and it's good.
Yeah,
it's so weird. It worked so well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dovetail does not have such amazing moments as fish or anything along those lines.
Sadly,
it is to fishing what Farming Simulator is to farming.
Now I understand this game completely. Okay.
Yes. You go up to a lake, you can have the 3-rod setup if you want 3-rod setup. You have the little rocket thing that you fling out and it drops bait in the water. It is very much a kind of a simulation.
There's a chum gun in this?
I don't know. You probably can. It has RPG mechanics in it.
Of course.
You level up.
Oh, no.
You unlock stuff by leveling up.
If you have enough fish
unlock
bonds.
the planer boards and
Yeah.
downriggers.
If you open up
Yes.
enough fish bonds, then maybe you'll be able to get the new reel.
It has literally about like 20 or 30 rod manufacturers and a whole bunch of reel manufacturers in there as well.
All you need is one Shimano.
Okay, I'll keep an eye out for that. Let me Shimano.
I fished a lot as a kid.
No, I believe you. It's just like the number of things that you have run into in your life where you're like, oh, this was always my favorite Shimano. Moving on. It's just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You should Shimano some get a couple dipsy divers on that line.
Shimano.
Keep that line at the right way.
See, you're speaking in language that Dovetail Games would understand. I don't.
What's the other one? Like, what type of lures you using spoons?
Sweet corn, wriggly worms. I don't know.
I feel like we should have this conversation in a month where I'm going to be like, here's my lures, here's my line, this is my favorite manufacturer, these are the fish I caught. I'm doing great.
Look, I have about 9 tackle boxes the size of this area
Jeez.
out in my shed.
For the record, by the way, I have actually written down Shimano just so I can see if it's in the game for you.
It has to be. It's the best reel.
Yeah.
But
By
the question
far.
is it American or European? Because guess what? It's Eurofishing.
You're worldwide. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
We have the internet,
Well,
Mike. We can buy anything.
I mean, okay, so
You're not using ugly sticks, are you?
I don't know what you're speaking Egyptian to me now.
Oh, God.
Anyway,
I love it.
I will come back when I have played more of it. It actually has a pretty cool multiplayer mode where basically you jump in, you get 10 minutes. Whoever gets the most weight wins.
Yeah, that's how fishing tournaments work.
Well, I figured that much. I know I'm English. I'm not stupid.
Well, I think what Knobs is saying is like this is an accurate fishing simulator.
Yes. And it's all in Europe because they must have got the... I'm assuming the studio...
Fishing for in Europe, like sardines and eels.
There is carp in Europe, you know.
There's carp everywhere.
Exactly. Anyway, I think it must have been made by a British studio, and they must have got Todd from accounting to do the voiceovers for it, because this dude cannot do... It's hilarious how bad that Todd from accounting's voiceover is. He tries to sound enthusiastic, and instead he just sounds like he's getting punched in the face while he's trying to teach you about fishing.
Fishing.
That's pretty much teaching anyone how to fish. It's like getting punched in the face.
Their Dovetail Games is growing fast and currently employ more than 120 passionate and creative individuals at 2 UK sites. Chatham, their headquarters, and Stirling.
Here's a real try to hook yourself.
Yeah, those accents roughly fit.
The picture for this YouTube video is, the title is "Just How Real" in caps can games get? Dovetail Devs.
No.
It's planes, trains, fish. Sorry, I'm gonna peruse their website here while we're talking.
But let me tell you, the game looks fantastic. Like, it shocked me how good the water looks. You know how you play fishing games and you get that fish and it's literally just basically someone holding a JPEG of a fish?
Yeah, it's like 2D.
Yeah. The fish, when you take them out of the water in this, they look like they're genuinely suffocating. It's concerning. Like, you hold the fish out and it's sitting there in its little mouth like...
They actually... So
this dude in the first video I clicked at, he didn't say Dovetail, Dovetail.
So I'm surprised about this company. They brought Microsoft Flight Simulator X to Steam, and they do Train Simulator. So like, this is a fairly large corporation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So apparently they're doing okay for themselves, and they've jumped into the world of fish after planes and trains.
Yeah, it's their real passion project.
Oh, yeah, you know. It's the skateboarding for the Neversoft guys, you know, it's that kind of thing. Well, yeah, I actually really do like the game. Like, it's really fun. And they've got different control schemes for whether... Let me hold on here. Let me get the terminology right. They have different control schemes for if you want to do what I do and do the basic casting method. Or you can do Total Control casting.
Ooh.
Where, you know how, I don't know if you'll know this, Boston, but Nobs, you know how when you thrust your rod forward, you have to let go of the spinner to allow the line to go out, and then when you want it to stop, you snap, you release. You have to do that with the left trigger while swishing forwards with the right. Like, you have to do the release method with it as well.
Just like Tiger
Well,
Woods.
yeah, because, I mean, it's with the... I'll go get a poll. I can give a whole demonstration. No, I always like it, because with that, like, I'm sure looks like on the video they're all using open reel. It has that little bar that goes on top. So you flip the bar up, you release it, and once it gets far enough to start reeling in, you flip the bar down, that pulls the line back in. Or it puts the line on the reel, essentially. I hate... Nothing's worse than someone shows up the fish with a closed reel. That is the worst thing in the world, where it's got the little button. It's like,
this is tickling me so much. Secret fisherman. Knobs.
I've been fishing too. I just don't know the name of the reel that I had, because when I did it, I was 14.
You're fishing for fun. Knobs is fishing for life.
Oh, clearly.
All right, so my other pet peeve, if you're going to go fishing, at least hook your own worm. Like, you ask me to hook your worm, I'm going to throw you in a lake.
Yeah.
Really?
With a worm in your mouth.
I hate doing it, and I would still do it.
Or even worse, when someone uses a pair of pliers to hook a worm. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, just get your fingers
We're going to catch a fish. You want me to take it off the line for you now?
Yeah. Just get up in there.
But yes, anyway, I recommend the Dovetail games. I think it's actually a budget title as well. I don't think it's the full 60 whack on it. I think
probably. I mean, hopefully.
I think we actually picked it up on sale. I think we picked it up for $10. Well worth it. Genuinely quite fun. If anybody else in the community has it and wants to have a little round of fishing, bring it on again. Send me a message. Invite me to fish. We can get our Shimano on. But yes, that's all I've been playing. Over to you, Boston.
Hey, I've started and finished Flame in the Flood.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I forgot about
wait,
that.
I played that this week, too.
Oh, yeah?
Man, those boars are serious.
I hate virtually everything about this game.
Yep.
I haven't disliked a game in, like I do with Flame in the Flood, in a really, really long time. I disagree with nearly every design and UI choice that they have made in the 5 hours it took me to complete the campaign. But man, that ending was cool.
Yes.
We'll dive into it more during the Game Club recap episode, but I really, this rubbed me the wrong way at nearly every moment I was playing it. Mm-hmm. At every facet of the game.
I'm actually looking forward to this Game Club, because this is going to be... I mean, I can't speak for Knobs, but me and you, Boston, are probably polar opposites on this case. I genuinely adore this game, and you couldn't have uninstalled it faster if you tried.
Yep. Yeah.
I like. There's too much stuff going on for me. This is not my game. Like
Yeah, that's why I was interested in hearing you play it, because I don't think you've played a survival game like this before, right?
No, because I don't understand what I had. Like, I'm like, okay, I went to sleep. Now I'm starving. What? Yeah. Okay, so I ate like a whole bunch of corn and then the ash cakes, and then I'm like, I'm still hungry. Like, what? What do I get? Like, where's the hot dog stand? Where's that floating around?
Yeah, exactly. Like, let me pull that out of the river here.
Like, no, and then like that controls like anus. Oh my god.
Yup.
I was bouncing off everything like a ping pong ball.
That's one of the problems, yeah. But we'll dive into it more later. But we're running a little long here, so I don't want to beat up on Flame in the Flood too badly, because we'll do that in 2 weeks during a recap episode. But the other game I played this week is I have finished Persona 5. My final time for my first playthrough was 128 hours and change. Man, that ending was long and 100% satisfying. I was starting to feel a little bit cold towards the game as it was sort of wrapping up, because there was some stuff that was going on that I wasn't necessarily enjoying the direction it was going in. But thankfully, it sort of wrapped up the whole thing in a really, really nice bow. It's gonna be. My immediate thought was it's gonna be really hard to make a top 10 list this year because so far I have 2 number 1 games with this and Yakuza 0. So
and
and a third one on the way.
And a third one on the way. Flame in the Flood. No. So that's going to be fun. I really... We talked about this for probably almost an hour on Pup yesterday. So Musum, Mina, and I have all been playing it this past month. So we dive pretty deep into it. I'm not going to dive as deeply into it because I've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks, and the only thing I have to talk about it is the ending. But I was really happy with where it went. My knee-jerk ranking after finishing it is I think it's better than Persona 3, but it's tough ranking it against Persona 4 because Persona 4 came out 10 years ago, and it's had time for my rose-colored glasses to kind of sit firmly on me about that game.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit tough, but I have gone through and I got the really hard trophy near the end of my first playthrough, so I'm going to go platinum the game. I am about to finish the 3rd dungeon, and I'm about 12 hours in. If you remember from about a month ago, that's how long it took me to finish the first dungeon in the first playthrough. So
yeah, it was like 50 hours to get to the 3rd dungeon originally, wasn't it?
Something like that, yeah. I have some criticisms about some of the ending stuff in the game, but nothing I really want to talk about because it would all be spoilers, even anything around it. But we will be doing a spoiler cast at some point, or at least trying to do one. So we'll definitely talk about it then. But it's really hard for me to find fault in this game, even after 128 hours, which is really not something you run across every day. It maintained its quality the whole way through. So yeah, so far, go play Persona 5. if you're interested in Persona 5, go play it. And remember, you cannot do everything on your first playthrough. I will forever reiterate that about Persona games. You can't do everything. There will be stuff unfinished, confidants and raising your stats, and there's always going to be things you couldn't get to because you have a very firm time limit. But that's what New Game Plus is for, because you carry over personas, weapons, armor, and your stats. So basically, you can start off... the thing with Persona games is often someone will say, I'd really love to hang out, but... and the game will say, like, you need to have your kindness at level 4. It's like, well, I'm level 1, so maybe in about 70 hours I'll be able to start that. You can just start that at the beginning of the game. It takes a lot of that waiting out. So.
You carry confidence over as well, don't you?
No, if you rank up to level 10 with one of your confidants, you carry over their benefits.
Okay.
So there's one confidant, the Temperance one, if I remember correctly.
May you be pure in heart.
That's a very good Binding of Isaac reference, by the way. It's Temperance or it's... I don't remember either one. But basically, playing the game normally, when you go into one of the dungeons, or you go into Mementos, the randomly generated dungeon, when you come back home, you have to go to bed because you're too tired from going into the dungeon. If you go out and do normal stuff, you can do something before you have to go to bed. If you max out that confidant, they will allow you to do something that will let you go into the dungeon and get that time back at the end of the day. So
that's kind of cool.
Once I've established that at the beginning of the game, I now have an incredible amount of free time because I carried that over. So with that, I don't have to level that all the way up to 10 to get that benefit at the beginning.
Yeah.
So all that stuff is really, really great. I think I maxed out about half of the confidants, so I have a pretty good set of bonuses coming into New Game Plus. So, but I'm at that point where I can platinum it, and I sort of just want to do it so I can say I put a bow on it and just put it to bed and say Persona 5 is really great, and I have the platinum and it goes up on the shelf.
And delete your save file.
Yeah, probably. I have it synced to PlayStation Plus anyway, so no real risk there. All right, but that's all I've been playing, so let's take a break.
Cool. Hey, did you watch that video I sent over to you?
Oh no, I was gonna the other day. Crap. I gotta go. It's raining. I gotta go make sure the windows are closed. I'll be right back.
Bathroom.
Hey, chat. Welcome to the Moonpier's World of Pain.
Oh, come on.
Or something. I don't know. Let's do dank clouds and etc. Whatever the fuck the kids are saying these days. I'm too old. Well, then we'll take a drink. I'm literally boxed in here. I have a snoring cat. I have a cat that's asleep over there. And a wife who is currently playing around with Batman. But yes, Dimebag, where have you been, you big punk? Do you know who I'm talking to? Yeah, I'm just messing. I'm trying to see how much stuff I can recognize on the shelves of these two. Like, I don't know what all the games that Knobs has. Obviously, I see in Boston screen, I see the Boo, but I don't know what the weird kissy lips thing next to the Boo is. But my resolution isn't exactly great. Dimebag, you went out. How dare you have a social life? You naughty person. Oh, the shelf underneath the Boo, I can see the companion cube, it looks like. Like, second along, maybe? I don't know. Oh, damn. Saves you right for that, you know, embrace the alcohol, damn, get hungover. Unless you're like me and you just don't get hungover. But I very rarely drink, so. Special occasions. Like Friday nights. I just laughed at my own joke. How terrible am I? I can't wait till Boston hears this episode and then has to, you know, edit it. Where'd you go though, Dime? Anyway, fun? One of these fancy barcades that everyone's talking about? Strip club? Honky tonk? Fast food joint? Okay, I've run out of cool names for places to go. The reason it's a joy time is because we get considerably less British the more we drink, or more British the more we drink. In my case, my accent comes in hardcore when I drink, so I sound really, really bad like a Scouser when I get drunk.
Okay.
I'll go back to Boston. Boston, what's the kissy lips thing next to your Boo? Shelf directly. Shelf at the top, there's a Boo. What's the kissy lips thing next to it?
The kissy lips thing?
This red thing in the middle of the shelf.
This red thing?
Further in the middle.
This thing?
One more.
This thing.
That thing.
Hold on.
Nope. Not that one, although that's cool.
This
the
thing?
one next to it.
Venom Snake's hand. The thing that's
I know
next to
that.
it. This thing.
Yes.
1 second.
I like Venom Snake's hand now.
What, the Coca Demon?
Is that what it is? No, I know that's Boo. I said the other side of Boo.
No, that's the Coca Demon from Doom.
I like that you can see the small Boo, but you couldn't see King Boo.
No, that's the Boo I was talking about. It's the thing I'm assuming next to the small Boo is Nob's right, is the Cacodemon in the middle.
Yeah, it's a Cacodemon.
Okay, that's what I was curious
I was
about.
pointing at it, and you said, yes, that thing, and I brought over King
You
Boo.
were pointing at the red box behind it or to the side of it.
Oh, you're not seeing the same.
It's probably because you use watch color.
No, you're looking at the... I'm sending a different camera to you than the one I'm looking at. Yeah. That is, yes, that's a Cacodemon.
Oh, I saw the big Boo. I was trying to guess. And Companion Cube, next shelf down.
Yep. No, that's a Destiny. That's a ghost.
Destiny Ghost, yeah.
Oh.
Persona 5. Yeah.
Yes.
No Man's Sky.
Boo. Elite
No Man's
Dangerous.
Sky is fine.
Rick
Yeah.
and Morty.
Yep.
Medkit.
Morty. This is Bravy's
I knew-
second.
Yeah, I knew most of Nobs' stuff, like obviously Borderlands 2, Rick and Morty, the medkit. I don't know what was sitting on the medkit. Yeah.
A bag?
Yeah, a bag.
Okay.
So when it goes on the shelf, will you ever play it again? Asked Dimebag. No. For most stuff that I'm playing, when I put it on the shelf, that to me is like I'm sticking in the archives. You know, like unless there's something like Witcher 3 went on the shelf until all the DLC came out, and then like I'll take that off the shelf to kind of do that. But something like Persona 5 isn't going to have any story DLC, so. Once I'm done, that's why I want to get the platinum. Once I'm done with it, I'm done with it. I'm sort of put that.
Like I said, it's not open.
And so they release Persona 5 Golden,
Yeah.
which don't make Persona 5. If you're gonna make another one, don't make it longer. For the love of all things holy, the last thing I want is for them to make that game longer.
Well, you don't want a Persona 5 Fez.
God, no, I don't want another Persona 5 Fest because Persona 3 Fest put in... So there's the normal game, which is really good, has a very definitive, very harsh ending.
Yep.
They put in
the
the answer, which is garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Fest is... I like Fest because they fixed some stuff from Persona 3, but then they tacked on a garbage second part that is widely regarded as terrible.
Yeah, I played P3P, and I can't remember if that had Fez on it, but I just avoided anything to do with that.
Yeah.
Based on your recommendation, I believe.
I like P3P a lot. It's good.
Yeah. I just avoided Fez.
Yeah. Yeah, the answer is bad. It focuses on dungeon crawling and fighting, which is not Persona 3's strong suit, to say the least. Alright, I'm ready to start whenever you guys are.
Yep.
Hi.
Hi.
How's that free sale going?
It's not, but
I'm going to switch these news stories around. We'll talk about that second one. That first 1 second.
The hell is my emails gone?
Oh, I deleted them. You're welcome. Inbox 0.
I've got like 600 unread. I need to do it at some point, but I'm so lazy because like 599 of them are gonna be spam. And I
Are you
cannot
using
be bothered.
Gmail?
Yes.
In the search field, type is:"unread, and then it will just show you the unread emails, and then just do mark all as read.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
it's like my Yahoo account's sitting probably about 20,000 strong. I haven't
At
checked
that
it
point,
in like
like
2 years.
it's never gonna.
Well, I did that when I get with that spam thing at my at work, where I got 40,000 emails in a 2-hour span.
Jeez.
I'm just gonna create a new email address because this one's dead.
Well, no, I just had to go in and pick, like, all right, if it has X, Y, and Z in it, delete.
Yeah. Control Alt Delete.
Yep. And it took me another month to clean out my delete box. Because apparently Outlook doesn't like you deleting, 1,500 emails at a time.
Shockingly.
Shut down my computer for like 10 minutes while I was trying to... You sure? Yes!
Yeah, just do it. Alright, I'm gonna die for a minute. It's like a medically induced coma.
Yeah.
Oh, I know why you switched to news stories. But go ahead, I'm ready.
You ready?
Yep. Yes.
Alright. Ready in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. We got releases this week for May 8th, 2017. Loco Roco Remastered for the PlayStation 4.
I sort of would like to play that again. That was a fun little thing on the PSP?
Is this?
Yep. It's the one game on the PSP I put 10 minutes into and was like, okay, I'll come back to this. Never did.
Yeah, it's about that. It's like Katamari. You can put 10 minutes in a Katamari and you've kind of seen everything it will do, but it's of a quality the whole time through.
All right.
Oh.
Lethal League for the XBO.
I forgot this was on the list, and we talked about this earlier. So, I think that's on everything now, if I remember.
Awesome. And Minecraft for the Switch.
Speaking of on everything.
Yeah, here's another 3 million units sold. But good for them, at least. All right, let's move on to news stories. We talk about the World Video Game Hall of Fame every once in a while, and they had their third round of Hall of Fame inductees. This time, I just wanted to talk briefly because this is this is a pretty good selection of important and impactful games. First one is Donkey Kong. I mean,
yep.
Yeah, that seems pretty obvious. Halo Combat Evolved. Again, that's putting our feelings aside. That seems like a pretty obvious landmark game. Pokemon Red and Green. I mean, there's another pretty
every Pokemon game's going to be in there.
Yeah.
Can we just call them dual monsters?
Eventually. And Street Fighter 2, which is also another. Those are 4 games that are all really important to video games.
Yeah,
So.
it feels. To be honest, it feels like sometimes they literally take the softball approach, where it's like every time they make a selection, the majority of the time I feel like it's a given. Like, yes, that should be in there. Yes, that should be in there. Yes, that should be in there.
Well,
and yes, that should be in there.
It's like putting AC/DC in the Rock Hall of Fame. Where it's like, they should. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because they've got the biggest balls of them all.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the other games on the list were Final Fantasy VII, Mortal Kombat, Portal, Resident Evil, and Wii Sports. So, I mean, you kind of can't lose out of basically that entire list. So,
they had an interesting talk in NPR, because this guy's actually had an NPR for a little bit, and they were talking about Mortal Kombat. The reasoning was the whole fervor before Mortal Kombat. There was no rating system, and
a lot of people forget about that.
Yeah, because I remember I got Jungle Strike instead of Mortal Kombat because my dad didn't want to buy it for me.
Yeah, a lot of people forget the ESRB was created because of the hyper-realistic graphics of Mortal Kombat, which of course is laughable nowadays, but like, imagine walking into an arcade and you have Street Fighter 2, which was good looking, but then you put it next to Mortal Kombat, which had actual digitized human beings ripping each other's heads off, and people went ballistic.
Yeah, which he had a problem buying me that for home, but I could play it at the arcade as much as I wanted.
Well, I mean, that was very much...
What do you think I'm doing at BW3? Like,
right. That was very much the generational shift, where it's like, I don't really care what you're doing at the bowling alley, but at home, let's not buy the M-rated game.
Yeah, let's not bring this home. I was like, okay, so...
Can I have $20 to go to the arcade then?
Yeah, or even what you're playing on PC at that point. Like, really?
Yeah.
Like this is where your line in the sand
Yeah,
is?
it's like, can I show you blood? Because that's way worse than what Mortal Kombat has to show. Like that was the thing. A great thing for our generation was they had no idea what we were doing on PC, what we were playing.
No, that was one of the hilarious things. Like, okay, so you go this, and then I'm going over and I'm playing Blood and the Samurai one,
Oh,
Shadow. Oh gosh.
Samurai. God, they just came out
I
with another
cannot
one.
remember the name of the name of it.
I was just looking
I
at
don't
it
know what you guys are
in my
talking
trophies list. Shadow Warrior.
Shadow Warrior. That's
Oh
it.
God. Okay, I got it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like we're playing Shadow Warrior, and then
Redneck Rampage.
and then like no, even like Doom, like a rediscovered Doom, because I was playing that. Like that was perfect. Playing Doom was perfectly okay on my 32X, and then Mortal Kombat was not.
Yeah.
Like what? Okay, fine. So then I started playing Doom on PC. I was like, look at this. He's like, whoa, where did you get that? Oh, it was shareware.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's just a demo.
It's like it's just a demo.
Yeah.
And then you go and it's like, well, you already bought me the same game. Like, how you have a problem with it?
Yeah.
I remember Mortal Kombat being one of the few games I got in trouble for when I was a kid. Because we borrowed a Genesis and a ton of games off like my uncle while he was on vacation, and literally I put a bunch of hours into Mortal Kombat and the Genesis, and my parents came home and saw me playing it, and I got in very serious trouble because they didn't know video games.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like so. I didn't get that one. So after Jungle Strike, I talked him into buying me Eternal Champions, which you could do far worse things to those humans.
That was
in that
way
game.
worse. But it wasn't real people, Knobs. That's where your dad drew the line.
It's strange.
Yeah. Let's talk about our news story. The most important news story of 2017.
Yes.
Darksiders 3 has been confirmed. 2018's Game of the Year. Darksiders 3. You play this time as Fury. It's a cool-looking lady with a cool-looking whip. Hey, Darksiders is back. Who cares what else is happening?
Yup.
This looks really
that
good.
trailer looks great.
Yeah, we were talking about this in Discord, and like someone mentioned it had apparently been leaked, and then they confirmed it and put the release trailer out, and I think I literally did a circle around the apartment going, yes!
Yeah.
Oh, I'm happy they're not doubling up on the Horsemen.
Yeah.
I'm happy like that Fury's getting a standalone game.
Yep. Yeah, because optimally, like we've said, you know, if we had our druthers, there'd be 5 games. You go through all 4 Horsemen, and then the 5th one is a 4-player co-op game worth all 4 of them.
Yeah. All right. So who's left after Fury? Wrath.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's Google.
Or was Wrath one of the
4
seven deadly sins?
Horsemen?
We should know this, Boston.
Conquest, War, Famine, and Death are the 4 Horsemen.
Famine's the last one, then, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
Fury's essentially Conquest.
Yeah. So Famine would be the last one. Yeah, and I think this one's interesting because she's going to go fight the 7 deadly sins.
I hope Famine's a card battler game.
That'd be great. Just something totally different. That'd be great. Mobile only card battle.
Or it's an RTS, and instead of controlling like units, you're controlling like disease.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
That'd be really great. It'd be like
I got a game for you called Plague Inc.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'd be like Plague Inc. I think the thing that I'm most happy about, obviously, I'm happy that their Darksiders 3 has been announced and was coming out. I'm excited to play another giant open world Darksiders game, which will, I'm hoping, be even better on the current platforms. I'm really happy that someone is continuing to make Darksiders games so that we might see all of them. You know, getting 1 and 2 would have been fine because both of them are really great, but there was always that what if, where it's like, what if they made more? There's still more Horsemen for them to make.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's the thing, like where Dead Space inevitably failed was they got so beholden to what they thought the market wanted and kind of ruined what that game was originally.
Right.
Where they don't have that obstacle with this.
Yeah, I mean,
It's exactly what it has to be
and
already.
between 1 and 2, those games were totally different, and if they wanted, to stick with whatever the market wanted, they would have just made it Darksiders 1 again. Just now the dungeons are bigger, but they made something that was pretty radically different from the first one, and I think it was a better game because of it. And I'm excited to see how Darksiders 3 is different from the other ones, and in what ways is it a different game. It's a shame we have to wait until 2018 for it, but
As long as it's on the horizon, that's good news.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's THQ Nordic putting that out. So
Yeah, I've got to think that was going to be an E3 reveal for somebody that was like to have the trailer that ready. That had to be someone's E3 reveal.
Oh,
I don't know.
I'm sure Big Head spoiled it.
It looks like that was an IGN first look, because as soon as it got leaked, the IGN first look got pushed out pretty quickly. So it might have been.
Cool.
I'm surprised they didn't save it for E3. It seems to me like that would have been a good game for either Microsoft or Sony to kind of show in the middle of the press conference, where it's like it's not a huge game for the bookends of either of their shows, but one of those ones where it's like a 2-minute trailer of Fury fighting some stuff. But maybe not Sony because they have God of War coming out. Then maybe they don't want to push Darksiders 3 too much. But
Something we haven't seen anything of in a while.
God of War.
Yeah.
Yeah, the more I think about that game, the more I'm cautiously interested in it, because it seems like they realized that we're all kind of tired of God of War. Even real hardcore God of War fans are like, yeah, cool. Like, can I get something different? And it looks like they're attempting to make something really different. And the rumors coming out this week about the new Assassin's Creed is pretty promising too.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I hope they don't go with Assassin's Creed Origins as the title. That would be really dumb. Please stop using Origins as a subtitle in video games. But them saying they're making a pretty radically different Assassin's Creed game is very exciting.
Yeah. I mean, it's stupid, but I'm actually kind of interested in that based off the spooky ghost face in the sky part of Syndicate. Makes me more interested in the start of that kind of thing, which looks like it might be heading back in that direction, but who knows.
Yeah, the rumor is it details the beginning of the Assassins versus Templars fight.
Yeah. Oh, that should be interesting.
All right, let's move on to tweets. Actually, tweet. Adderblack39 writes, "What's your favorite game to play on a hard or insane difficulty?"
All of them.
Rock Band, of course, but I feel like that's sort of cheating.
Ooh, yeah. Amplitude
Amplitude
and frequency.
That one's actually really important, because just like rhythm games are really good, because when you're playing on easy difficulties, you're kind of playing the spirit of the song, but on those games you're playing each individual note, and it's such a radically different game.
Yeah, actually, even going from easy to normal in frequency was a market different in actually what you were doing.
Yeah.
And you had to use a different play style. Like you had to use the shoulder buttons.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're changing up. You can't do face buttons anymore.
Yeah, it forced you to use those shoulder buttons.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I would have to say probably Ninja Gaiden Black.
Ooh.
Probably the most rewarding third-person action experience I have ever had.
Yeah, playing that on normal was pretty good, but you ratchet that up to harder difficulty, and it plays differently. Like, you can't approach the game the same way you could on normal. The game just smacks you down. It's like, nope, you can't do that anymore.
I've got two answers to this. Resident Evil 7, because
Yeah.
They shocked me because they literally changed the basic mechanics of the game by putting up to the higher difficulties. And my other answer is a weird one, and it's Dead Space 2 and 1 specifically.
One was good.
Yeah.
For me, it's just because that limited save inventory, that amps up the pressure and it makes it so much more tense because you know you are going to be screwed if you mess things up. That adds an extra layer to the difficulty level, in my opinion. Like when they do stuff like that and special little things for the higher difficulties, that's when I appreciate them more. Don't just turn the sliders up, do something different.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the limited save thing, especially Dead Space 2, because I could not get by that brute right in front of the dish change.
Yeah.
Get the free save.
I mean, I don't think I've ever been more prepared for a fight and failed more times than that fight.
God, yeah. That was terrible. I think for me, other than rhythm games, I think the some of the better JRPGs, you know, I talking about Persona 5, the Persona and SMT games are such a different type of game to play them on the harder difficulties, because you really have to use everything to your advantage. You have to make sure you debuff the enemy and buff yourself as much as possible. You have to use status ailments much more than you'd have to. You have to tread lightly in the dungeon because every encounter that you run into could potentially end your game if you're not on top of your party and the enemy's weaknesses and taking advantage of, you know, when you hit. And one of the biggest components of the SMT games and Persona games is when you hit an enemy's weakness, you get another turn. So you're able to get free turns out of hitting the weaknesses of the enemies. If you don't take advantage of that, the enemies are going to do that to you and will make sure that you don't make that mistake again. So it's nice to see, like, you have to stay on your toes. Dimebag says, Nocturne normal was hard enough. I never got through that because normal on that game was absolutely brutal. Same with SMT4, but it's nice to see that those games have difficulty options for that, where it's, if you really want to go in and challenge yourself, they have something where you sort of have to take full advantage of the systems that are available to you, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Trying to think of another game. I don't know, like some fighting games. I know DOA was another good one where you just kept ratcheting that difficulty up to get better and better and better.
Yeah, you'd start winning too much on one difficulty, you push it up a little bit, and the game would start smacking you around.
Well, I mean, it would force you to do that to unlock new outfits and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then you literally had to get good with every character to progress in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to unlock them swimsuits.
Yep.
No, got to unlock Xbox cheerleaders. Xbox cheerleaders.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's move on to Discord questions. Darkwave1062 says, do you ever wish you could roll back a game you play to an older version and play it the way you prefer? Would you even want this feature to exist?
Yes. I want DOA to play like DOA 2.
Oh, interesting.
For me, generally, no. For the majority of things, the updates and patches and things like that significantly change and help the game run better, perform better, not crash as much, whatever the issue may be. The only time I don't really like that stuff is when they take it out because they've realized that they've done something stupid. Borderlands is a prime example.
That was exactly the point I was just going to make with Borderlands 2. I wish
it's a co-op single-player game, not online. There's no balancing needed, and you literally will break the game for everybody who have got a certain build because you don't think it should be played that way. Yeah. You had it that way. You made it that way. Yeah.
You missed the glitch. That's on you.
Yeah.
Let it go.
And miss the point.
The flesh stick thing and farming for Chromarax. I mean, that stuff was fun because you were so overpowered when everything else in that game was just beating the crap out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all you could do from there, instead of patching that particular exploit, is make a harder boss.
Yeah.
Which they did do. They patched the exploits and then made the next bosses harder.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's the thing too is the thing that frustrated me about Borderlands 2 is they were sort of missing the point where most people playing the game for the first time weren't grinding experience with flesh stick. They were doing that because they were on their 5th or 6th character and they didn't want to level again because they've done it. Like, there should have been an option where it's like, look, you've beaten this game on the hardest difficulty. You're loading up an 8th character. Do you want to go to level 60? Like, what level do you want to start at? You know, instead they should have done that instead of saying, well, now you don't get any experience. See you later. It's like, well, that wasn't why we were doing it.
Right. It was a shortcut that all those games need. The games need those things in there to keep people to play through multiple times.
Yep.
Because you want to go through and see what all this character has to offer, but you don't want to spend the 30 hours getting there.
You've done that 5
every
times.
One of these.
Yeah.
The only other thing I can think about is MMOs. But if you want to go and play the original version of WoW or Vanilla WoW or pre-Cataclysm WoW, it's there somewhere. Maybe kind of sketchy, but it's there to do.
Famously, it's there. But, yeah. And our last question from Discord, I sort of saved the potentially most contentious for last. Maximus Prime asks, so what's the best FPS of all time?
I can't believe you actually asked this.
I mean, all three of us love FPSs. Knobs is like the FPS connoisseur here.
Yeah, he is. He's the one who's probably played the most. Halo. I'm just kidding. That's not my choice.
God.
Unreal 2K4. It's perfect.
Yeah.
That game has got everything that everyone loves about games a decade before everybody else.
God, Unreal 2004 was so good. And
Bad Company
so, Unreal 2004 is like one of the best examples of a developer actually listening, where they put out Unreal 2003 and everyone said, cool, you have this giant list of issues, and they said, I've got the solution. We fixed all of them, and we put a bunch of extra stuff in there. And they're like, okay, perfect, thank you.
Yeah. Mine's going to be a Battlefield game. It's a toss-up between Bad Company 2, and 4.
Four. I cannot believe 4 grabbed me the way it did.
Yeah,
especially after 3.
Yeah.
I mean, we still played hundreds of hours of 3, but 3 was a hot mess.
I did not play. I barely played any 3.
Yeah,
I couldn't handle it.
You bounced off that one real quick. Understandably.
Yep. And 4, the campaign was fun. It was genuinely fun. Like, weird, but fun. And the multiplayer, literally, you've got people in our friends group who have put 500 hours into that game.
Yeah.
And not touched the campaign.
Tony.
Yes.
Yeah, we were talking about that on last night, because Scott hasn't played any of the campaign. I was like, dude, you really should.
Yeah.
It's not what you would expect.
Yep.
I think for me, I'm going to have to go back to my ultimate build engine game, and I think that's Blood. I think Blood combines... I think, to me, Blood is the ultimate build engine game, even over something like Duke 3D. If we're gonna, I'm looking at something classic. I feel like after Blood and after the build engine died, we got the second generation of first-person shooters that started with the Quake engine and the Unreal engine. I'm sort of pushing those aside because I think that's a really hard decision. And Knobs already said Unreal 2K4, which is kind of the best answer. I think, to me, Blood is the ultimate build engine game. It has a crazy amount of levels and weapons. It does some really, really crazy and creative stuff with the level design. The number of references to horror movies and action movies it has. It is, I think, one of the best, if not the best, 2D first-person shooters. And I think I would be really hard-pressed to come up with anything, but maybe the original Heretic. would be okay.
Yeah.
But I
Oh
don't
man,
think
the original Heretic was a good game.
I don't think the level design is as good as Bloods is.
No, the problem with Heretic is it got samey for so much of it.
Yeah, like the back half.
Like, yeah. And I think Hexen is completely overrated.
Yeah, Hexen was good, but Heretic did something real special.
Yeah. But man, I'd have to, if I had to go back and pick probably one of the most unique favorite shooters of all time, the original Painkiller. Yeah. That game brought a sense of scale. I know we've probably said this ad nauseum at this point.
We've been talking about Painkiller a lot recently.
Yeah.
Well, because that game, I really think a lot of people missed that boat.
Yeah.
Because I remember when that demo came out, and we were both like, everyone needs to play this. And everyone's like, what? It's only like 3 levels. It's like, but dude, go to this particular one.
Look at how giant this boss is.
Look, you're not even near. Like, you can see him. He's knocking down buildings.
Yeah. Dimebag
and make this stuff look cool.
Dimebag in chat says Red Faction. The only one I played was the 2 open world ones. I really didn't. I was not interested in the ones that came out for PS2 and Xbox, the original Xbox around that era.
Oh wow, I forgot there was a second open world one.
Yeah, it was bad. I finished that thing. That was bad.
Red Faction Guerrilla was really good.
Yeah. Guerrilla was fantastic. Like the first 2 Red Factions were fantastic as well. I mean, you guys have mentioned a lot of the classic first-person shooters. That's a massive dark hole for me because I didn't have any experience with them.
Yeah,
I played a bit of Doom, I played a bit of Unreal. Didn't touch a shooter for years until Red Faction 1, and we had PS2 LAN parties where we would all play Red Faction together. Like multiple TV setup, all that kind of stuff, all for Red Faction. Because there's something quite funny about just digging a tunnel half a mile into the side of the map and then sitting there and then waiting for someone to stick the head in the hole to see what's going on.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, that was the problem with the horsepower divide between consoles and PC back then was on consoles you didn't get first-person shooters, really. Like, we were talking about Doom 32X earlier. That came out, that was really the best home version of Doom. Well, we got, like, Quake 64 and Doom 64, but those were...
Doom 64 was horrendous.
Those weren't just ports. Those were completely redone versions of that game. We got Quake 3 for Dreamcast, but that wasn't really the same game. You know, a lot of them weren't... They were refactoring these games to put them out on console.
You know, I mean, when I played Doom and Unreal, it was literally in my chess club's PC.
Yep.
Well, I would get to the classroom first, wait half an hour for everybody to show up, and I would sit there and play Doom and Unreal there. We didn't have a PC at home, so all like Hexen, Heretic, you know, all of these games you mentioned, I had no experience with any of them because I didn't have access to any of them.
Yeah, like the sort of the second tier of games beyond Doom and Quake were hard to get your hands around. Like, we played, Knobs and I both love the original Rise of the Triad. Virtually nobody has played that game, and it is one of the longest and craziest and weirdest things that if you didn't pick up this 6 floppy disk demo back when it came out originally, because like the reason I remember picking it up, I bet I still have it somewhere at my parents' house. One of the discs on the demo had a printed cover, a printed label on it, and it was just the first-person view, and there were gibs everywhere, and an eyeball was coming down the screen. I was like, well, I have to have that. I was like 10. I was like, that looks so cool.
Yeah, so there's another one, going back to what we talked about with the ratings thing. Like, that was predates Mortal Kombat by like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
But no, Rise of the Triad's got a great remaster that's on Steam. If you've never played Rise of the Triad, that is what you want to play now. Because the other one, or the older version, because like we didn't have the newest gear when we were growing up, so we would have to actually shrink the screen to get it to run. Yeah. Like, I mean, I literally played Quake 1 on a postage stamp this big just to get through it.
Yep.
Yeah. 2 quick honorable mentions on my part. Modern Warfare.
You
know, it's one of the best campaigns ever told in a first-person shooter. It's groundbreaking for a lot of things it does. And not to mention, it brought Call of Duty up to the level which it's at now, which we can thank it and curse its name for.
Yeah, for a double-edged sword of the century.
Yeah, and the other one for me is No One Lives Forever.
Oh, good choice.
Which
that's a black mark on my gaming past, as I've never played either one of those, and I really need to.
When everybody, like, I love GoldenEye, I really do, and again, credit where it's due, GoldenEye did fantastic things. No One Lives Forever, to me, was the spy first-person shooter that it could have been.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, all right, looking back, the headaches we had to go with just control scheme to play a first-person shooter. Yeah, well, GoldenEye at least had 2 sticks.
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
The N64 only had 1 stick. Your look was with the yellow buttons.
You had the 1 stick and then the 4 yellow buttons. Yeah, the 4 yellow buttons. That's how you had to play all the other shooters. Is you had forward, back, left, and right.
Yep.
And then you had
at the same time. You also are correct now because there's a control scheme in GoldenEye where you use 2 controllers and it's move and look, 1 controller in each hand.
Well, I don't think I've ever seen that. Interesting.
I'm pretty sure it's there because I seem to remember consistently telling my sister that she's not allowed to play anything because I'm using both of the controllers.
Well, it's when you bring up GoldenEye, it's the same thing that we were talking about before with Halo. Is you can see these steps forward in. Okay, now you can control. Now you have basically mouse look on console with GoldenEye. Doesn't work very well, but you're getting closer to the experience you've had on PC for a while. You look at Halo and it's like, okay, now we have 2 sticks. We're sort of getting towards a regular control method of left trigger, right trigger. You've got grenades. You've got your standard setup, and there are these important landmark games along the way that honestly do not. GoldenEye does not hold up. Don't let
no, it does not.
Yeah, don't let anyone lie to you, but it was important.
And I was garbage at I would play. I love first-person shooters. That's what I was reared on, growing up. Because once I discovered that, and then Doom rolled into Quake rolled into Duke rolled into the weird games. Yeah. And see that your Serious Sams and all these other crazy Mech Warrior fell by the wayside because it refused to do mouse look.
Cough cough Shogo.
Yeah, Shogo still one of the best games that I wish would get remade.
I wonder if that's on GOG. I bet it is. Let me look.
But you have all this stuff, and then they would invite me over to play a shooter. I'm like, oh great, I'm gonna roll these fools, and I was like, what is this thing?
Yeah, what I just use one hand. Shogo is on GOG for $6. Shogo is. I don't want to talk about Shogo because it's one of the best first-person shooters that nobody has ever played. It probably still holds up, but it's not something I would unilaterally recommend to anyone. It's a real hidden gem, though. Once Moon gets a better PC, we'll put that on the Game Club list.
Oh yeah.
Man, Knobs is.
What in the world would I need to buy?
Knobs is digging through a copy of Bicycle Pinochle. Well, that's the thing. Back then, you bought card games on DVD or on CD because you didn't have the internet. There was no flash.
Oh my god!
I don't know what Knobs is looking. Oh wow, Blood on DVD, and in a DVD case, I should say. Wow. That's a bootleg Blood.
So, I'm trying to prove a point how awesome Unreal Tournament is because I have.
If you're listening to the audio version, Knobs is digging through some sort of box of old.
No,
PC games.
it's a drawer. Oh my god! I didn't even know I bought this.
What is
Heimdall.
it? Oh, Heimdall, nice.
Heimdall on PC.
That's crazy.
I didn't even know that came out. That wasn't it. Oh my god, did I buy a lot of Command and Conquer?
So did I.
Alright, so anyway, that's the original UT. UT99.
UT99.
One of the best shooters of all time.
Yep.
This might be the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And I have a Unreal Anthology around here, but then you got this bastard.
Oh yeah, UT3 was
UT3. Oh, this is a steel book. Oh my god. Wait. So opens up that way.
Yeah.
So apparently, and then it opens up this way. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, UT3 is.
What were they
misstep.
thinking? Well, no, it got gearsified, is what happened.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, interesting. Moon is showing the control scheme for 2 controllers for GoldenEye. Dimebag says, "Wow, you guys combined can make a game museum. You have no idea." Yeah, 13 on PC. Game Club game. All right, before we keep diving down this rabbit hole,
weird museum rabbit hole.
Yeah, Knobs and Boston's old game show. That's all the questions we have this week. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at eKaruga in Knobs' hand, tvgp.tv, email us tvgpfans@gmail.com. Knobs is also holding up Half-Life. Tweet us at tvgp, join the Discord server. It's a really good time. All of the links to Discord and all of the other stuff are on the right-hand side of the page.
Don't forget to join the forums. Please mark yourselves on the map. Join us for our game nights. Monday night, 10 p.m. EST on the Xbox One is Battlefield 4. Tuesdays, Destiny. Rocket Leagues on Wednesday, both on a PlayStation 4, in and around 10 p.m. Thursday, Steam Game Night, which seems to be more of a thing coming up now that I found all these games.
Yeah.
By the way, I was laughing so much then because literally Boston stopped talking, your part rolled up, and you went, whoop, and started talking
right in the frame. Hey, he's on it,
beat.
man.
That's right. And then Friday through the weekend, come find us and probably play Battlefield or Left 4 Dead.
This month's Game Club. This month's Game Club game is The Flame in the Flood. If you want to find out why I disliked it so much, pick it up and play it. It's available on virtually everything at this point.
Also, I love it.
Knobs is holding up a copy of the Unreal Anthology. There you go. Watch us live, twitch.tv/U1M1 Network, that video game podcast on YouTube. Go subscribe to both of those places. It will let you know automatically whenever we go live, and we'll see you all next week.
Laters.
See ya.
I knew I had this on the shelf. So
Yeah,
it's like
just
the
had to find
anthologies. Unreal Tournament 99, Game of the Year edition. Unreal 2 and Unreal 2K4. The perfect collection.
Unreal 2, I forgot about that. That was unfairly maligned. That game was alright.
Well, the first Unreal is unfairly maligned.
Yeah, it was, remember that famous copy of Next Gen magazine with the guy on the cover? It's like actual in-game graphics. People make fun of that, but we wet ourselves when we saw that. We're like, that's in-game graphics, what? That game was incredible.
What? The first Unreal, and talk about a great opening, because up until that point, I think we've talked about this before, you were nothing but corridors, constantly. You were never
Space
out
Marine in a ship.
Right, you get out of the ship, you're allegedly a prisoner, which also is a new thing, and then you find the one gun and you see the Scar run through, you're like, what is that thing? It's a ponytail, he's got blades, he's shinky, all over the place.
Oh, crap. Thank you for the reminder. I forgot about a really good first-person shooter, Escape from Butcher Bay, original Xbox.
Oh,
that's a good one. And then you get out of the ship, and it's this blue, lush world.
It's huge.
And you're like...
Video games.
Then you're chasing a rabbit around.
All right, Moon, what titles do you have?
Oh, jeez. I can't understand my own writing. Don't run antiviruses. You have to scratch it with friends. I won't rub my score in your face. This is 1/2. If this neared you, and then comma, I'm gonna laugh so hard. But if this neared you, I figure was a good enough one just by itself.
Yeah.
It just hit you in the taint. Come on, come on.
No, but I like it.
I'm going full human. It's like Christmas, and you couldn't uninstall it fast enough.
I have, why don't you put that on a t-shirt? Scratch it with friends, Bladderhouse, and Planes, Trains, Fish.
Uh,
I don't think they'll get the reference. They didn't see the shirt.
no,
No,
was pre-show.
it's a good title though.
it is.
I
It
kind of
really
like
is.
It's just for
Blatterhouse. Blatterhouse is just, it's dumb. I also kind of like Scratch It with Friends.
Yeah,
I feel like that's like almost a Words with Friends reference.
and it's very appropriate for us and this show in general, I think, as well.
Mm-hmm. All right. How do we feel about Scratch It with Friends?
I like it.
Don't everybody jump on. No, yeah, it's great. Whatever.
Look at, I'm laughing at my John Wick hair.
Oh yeah. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast episode 498 for May 8th, 2017. Scratch It with Friends.
That's what we're going with?
You just gotta itch it.
All right, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us live. We'll see you next week. Bye.
See you, everyone.
I really thought it was going Blatterhouse.